Welcome back to Earn Like a Mother. Today we're talking about flexibility is the new wealth. So as you're navigating your career, making decisions for your life, don't just focus on how much a job pays or whether or not it's going to give you more time with your family. Look at flexibility from lots of different angles. Yes, can you blend work and life together? Yes, can you be learning new skills in every single job that you take? But also, I want you to think about flexibility in the way you're thinking about your skills. And today I have an amazing example of somebody that did a brilliant job of taking one career that seemed to have nothing to do with anything and turning it into something amazing by being flexible about how you think about your skills. So I'm here with Deborah Cohen, and she is owner of Homeowner Referral Network,
Yes.
Homeowner Referral Network, which is this thriving business that she built, and it helps homeowners find qualified home repair people. Deborah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Emma.
So you started this business how many years ago?
It's about 18 years ago now.
18 years ago. And tell me what happened. You had a totally different career.
Completely different.
And what were you doing then?
I was working for a Spanish language aviation magazine, flying all over the world. I loved my career. International travel, great salary. And then I had my first daughter, and like many moms know, everything changed for me.
Right.
I could not bear the thought of getting on an airplane and leaving my family. And ultimately, my husband and I decided that we were going to choose quality of life over quantity of money, and I was going to try and stay home and raise my kids, and we would live on one salary.
Okay. So how did that work out?
Well, initially I was very excited to be at home with my daughter, but after a few months, my self-esteem plummeted and our bills began to pile up. We had a new house and a new baby, and I began to search for another alternative. I was looking for a part-time job, and that wasn't going to work, childcare and other expenses. So I started to search for ways that I could potentially make money at home and still remain productive.
Okay. And so when you were in magazine and publishing, New York City, very glamorous,
Yes.
and you were in sales.
Yes.
Right. So how did you think, oh, I'm going to be in this glamorous publishing industry and somehow build a do-it-yourself website? What was the thinking? How did you get there?
Well, initially you look at the two and there's no correlation whatsoever.
Right.
My job at the magazine was marketing and sales, and I did do some writing, but it was a networking and a people business. And I knew that ultimately what I wanted to do in my next career was help people in some small way and utilize my sales and marketing experience. Mm-hmm. And after I met a few contractors, we were new homeowners, I realized that while a contractor might be very good at what he does, he may not be very good at the sales and marketing end of his business. And I had a little bit of an aha moment where I said, hey, I'm very good at sales and marketing, and they're not, so maybe we can meet and create a niche where I can help them with their businesses.
And you're helping homeowners because, I mean, horror stories abound about the,
Yes.
right?
As a new homeowner, I also identified the need because we were struggling to find good contractors. So when I did find a good contractor, my natural instinct was to promote him. And that's sort of how I put together my business idea.
That's awesome. And so where is your business today?
Well, I started Home Remedies, which is my homeowner referral network business, from my basement with an old farm table, a refurbished fax machine, and my daughter in tow watching Barney by my feet. And from that humble start, it grew. Homeowners really responded to the idea. And eventually, other people on Long Island started to contact me and wanted me to help them get business. And I realized I couldn't handle the whole, too much of a market all at once. And that's where the flexibility part comes in, because rather than trying to expand too quickly, I decided, why don't I teach other people how to launch this business, refer work to them, and stay within my time frame of being a mom and running a business? And that's what I did. And when I started teaching other people on Long Island how to set up their own HRM businesses and it worked, I then branched out and started helping people nationwide start HRM businesses like mine.
So talk to me about the flexibility part of it. Now that you owned your own business, is your office still at home?
Yes, but my contractors converted our front porch into my home office, and it's much nicer than the basement.
Was it a barter deal?
I had to pay somewhat, but
Okay.
got a very good job done.
But okay, so talk to me about the flexibility part of
Yes.
it. Like overall, looking at your life, well, one, are you making more or less money than you would have at your old career?
At this point, I'm probably making double.
Double.
Yes.
So you're making more money because you were able to be flexible.
Yes.
And talk to me about the quality of life. Your kids are now going into college, and what would your life have been like had you stayed on that jet-setting lifestyle versus today?
There's no comparison whatsoever. I never missed a single day taking them to school. I was never not available if somebody was sick. When they were little, I would work when they were napping. I would work when my husband came home from work, and I'd work in the evenings or the weekends. And that worked for me 15 to 25 hours a week. Now that they're older, it's working out even better because now I have more time on my hands and I'm not left with nothing to do during the day, but I'm still available to my children.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the other piece of flexibility. So now you're helping other people, most of whom you said are women.
Yes.
And how many of those are moms?
Oh, I would say 90% are moms.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So when you're helping them transition from another career or maybe being a full-time stay-at-home mom into your business,
yes,
what are some of the challenges that they face just psychologically or emotionally to think about themselves in this new way?
Well, I think first of all, a lot of women come to the table thinking they have to do everything, and they don't have to do everything.
Yes.
You need to quantify your time.
Yes.
And one strategy for doing that, especially for a mom who's running a family and running a business from home, is to outsource as much as possible. And that's truly how I built my business. Is I gave up a lot of the jobs that I knew I wasn't good at in my business, and I outsourced them to professionals, web professionals and marketing professionals, and even a virtual assistant. And I gave up the notion that I have to cook dinner every night and do all the laundry by myself. And that really freed me up to just focus on the most important aspects of my business. So if I only had 5 hours a day to work, those 5 hours were going to be managed most productively. And that's really what I try to teach the women that I'm helping launch this type of business.
That's so funny because I preach the exact same thing to people all the time.
Yes.
All the time. I have a blog, and my number one most popular blog post is, "You're stupid if you do your own laundry."
Yes.
And people overall really embrace that I liberate them from laundry. But there's so many people are so emotionally attached to this idea that that is a mother's job to do the laundry.
100%. You know, it's interesting, when my children were little, if I was vacuuming, I didn't feel guilty. But if I left them to go work in my office, I felt guilty.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's another study that I often cite, which is that Pew last year, I mean, this is Pew, this is like a big time study. They did 40% of Americans believe that it's actually bad for children if mothers work. So no wonder we feel guilty. But that is a choice that we can make to get over that.
Happy mother, happy child.
That's
my
right.
philosophy.
Well, that's right. And are you happy you're vacuuming? Or are you happy building an amazing, awesome business?
I'm happy that I have both.
That's exactly right.
The option to do both.
That is exactly right. Well, Deborah, thank you so much for being here. I have been having this awesome conversation. We're like mind meld professional soul sisters. Deborah Cohen, she's embodying the idea that flexibility is the new wealth. She's making more money, has an awesome family life, and she's helping other moms transition into this really dynamic, amazing career. Deborah Cohen is Homeowners Referral Network.
Yes.
And you can find her online. Check it out. I'm Emma Johnson, and we will be right back after this break with Earn Like a Mother.